Hello, everybody. We're back to cover some other more news, and most of it is reading stuff. And since I have the reading capabilities of a kindergarten, um, you're gonna have to level with me a little bit here because there's a lot to read, and we're going to go through the platinum blog again, and this time it was by the environment designer or the director, I should say, and it doesn't say much gameplay stuff. However, it does have a couple of important things on how they wanted to design the game, and I have brought it up on a couple of different occasions of how they want to lead you to experience the game. And this is pretty much the environment design's job to make to guide your focus into the game. So it's going to explain some of the stuff I already have, but hearing it from someone that's doing it directly from the development team is different from just someone that works on a development team. So we'll get through that, and after that, we're going to have the website. I will cover every ounce of detail here. Some of it is new, some of it is not. But do have some new clips, so we're gonna go through that, and then the man himself, the legend that's been providing us with every ounce of gameplay footage, almost every ounce of gameplay footage for Ryu, Yakumo, Master Ninja, everything. Joe Muntal, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. I apologize if I am butchered your last name. Um, yeah, and one thing about Joe is that he also covers game music, and I would love to play it, but I don't know if I'll get the copyright strike because it is a thing. But so I'm just gonna let you guys go on his page and check it out yourself because he does some amazing work. He did I think Akuma's theme song. But yeah, he from Street Fighter. It's like he has some really cool stuff. So check him out. He is the person that's actually providing all the Ninja Gaiden footage we see officially. So yeah, and he does have a really good thread here pointing out some of the stuff that happens. So this is essentially what I do, but he's doing a breakdown from his own experience with a hands-on, environment on Master Ninja. So I'm going to read his breakdown for once, and also go through the timestamps he provides. Hopefully the volume is not too loud. But yeah, first let's get through this one. The reason why I choose this order is because this is new. Some of you might have seen, but it's relatively has a lot of new stuff, and this is the footage we've seen with new insight on it. So if you're going by level of interest and freshness. So let's get straight into this one. Platinum Games official blog, their blog, Ninja Gaiden 4 Stage Design. Hello, this is Abe, Stage Director and Environment Section Leader for Ninja Gaiden 4. First, to quickly explain what exactly a Stage Director is, it's the person responsible for directing the primary experience in each stage. To put it in game industry terms, it's the director of the level design. To accomplish the project's theme, brackets, quote, overcoming impossible adversities, and they'd love that word, excitement and cruelty, and creating maximum possible change. So that is the 3 points that they have kept in mind going to the level design. I was responsible for considering aspects of the game experiences like this. So being overcoming impossible adversities being one, excitement and cruelty being two, and creating maximum possible change three. These are the 3 points they had in mind while trying to design the um, I'm not gonna say sandbox because I think that's the direction, the environment direction of Ninja Gaiden. So, next paragraph. Quote, I want the overall experience to be like this, so let's arrange this stage in this order. Quotations in. I want players to learn action in this order, so let's put this sort of enemy on the stage. And I did talk about this on the footage we saw of the first part of the game, like the actual tutorial stage and stage one. We saw that. We saw the full playthrough of that cutscene and everything, and the way the tutorial stage is designed is brilliant. I had Ninja Gaiden was always in dire need of it telling you how to play the game because there's a lot there and the game doesn't tell you. And the tutorial stage in Ninja Gaiden 4 does a perfect job of that. I think the only other game that actually close to giving you a little bit of tutorial was 2 with the scrolls you pick up, and 1 with the Ayane kunais and shurikens that she tosses around. You know, but leagues apart. And like the way the tutorial stage is designed in Ninja Gaiden 4 is just perfect, in my opinion, at least. Um, I said that I want to have this kind of story, so this event should occur. I want there to be some variation in the tempo, so I intentionally want this part to be slow. Then immediately after have something exhilarating. I guess it's like a chef, and keep this metaphors in mind. Like a chef who thinks about the different dishes in a course. The way I have to think is something like, in order to bring out this flavor, the food should be served in this order. Not that I know that much about cuisine, so sorry to all the cooks out there if I'm totally off. Again, remember this quote. So, as far as environment section's job, question mark, this is the creation of background and surrounding areas that make up the majority of the visuals. If you were to open Ninja Gaiden 4 right now, you'd see that about 80% of the screen is environment, defining the defining the world, time, playable zones, dead end, dot dot dot, showing players the game setting while signaling where they should go to create stage. Did I just skip a sentence? No, I did not. To create stages that are simultaneously impressive and easy to play is the job of an environment section. I guess it's like, again, I guess it's like a baker who makes a shortcake. The way I have to think is something like, in order to make this strawberry, which is the playable character in this case, look its best, the underlaying cake needs suitable care. Not that I know much about baking, so sorry to all the bakers out there if I'm totally off. Which is a funny like thing he did. First it was about food, now it's about baking. I really enjoy his humor so far. Okay, enough about me. Let's talk about some of the appealing parts of Ninja Gaiden. Number one, again, this word, they love this word. They've said it in every single article. Number one, endless adversity. Overcoming possible adversity is a concept we set to further evolve the greatness inherent to the Ninja Gaiden series. Ninja Gaiden could be called the purest of action games, and I believe the best part of this series is the extreme tension of deadly fights, and the adrenaline you feel when you're released from that tension. In this game, we greatly boosted the number of enemies and the threat they pose to make it the toughest it's been. Very important. And I know a certain group is gonna be like, oh, there's not that many enemies on screen. Yes, true. Maybe there's not 20 enemies on screen, right? But the threat they pose, the threat one of those guys pose, is as big as 10 incendiary ninjas, right? And we've seen the Master Ninja footage a little bit further now, and yeah, it is very deadly. They are very deadly and dangerous. I would dare even say more aggressive. But that's a different story. Or, in other words, make it pose the greatest adversity. We hope you enjoy the sense of adversity, of being surrounded by enemies equal in strength to the player, and the intense boss battles. Of course, we haven't made the game unreasonable. Players have new tools at their disposal to help with this adversity. The Blood Raven form and Raven gear can turn the tables in your favor. So, that's a really like extreme claim to say like, yeah, we made it harder, but it's not unreasonable. And I've said this, and I said I hope this is the case many, many times as I was reviewing articles and footage. It's like, I hope it's not bullshit to keep it, because you know, imagine the scenario, which I don't think it will be hard, but I apologize for bringing this up in your memories. Imagine you're swinging at a Vanguard. Oh, sorry, Van Gale in Ninja Gaiden 2 or 3, right? You're stun locking and he's getting destroyed, and then randomly he decides, hey, I'm a super armor, grab you in 30 frames before you can even do anything, and then one tap you. Do you guys remember these scenarios? If you play Master Ninja, especially the Wing Vangles are infamous for this. They just super armor randomly through your moves, even if you are stun locking them, and then grab you, fireball you in the face, and then you're dead. And then you have to restart. So that's unreasonable. Same with the claw ninjas dodging everything you're doing for like solid 10 seconds. And then they're like, yeah, I'm just going to stop and immediately perfectly grab you and then one tap you. It's like, yeah, those are not hard. Those are really unreasonable situations. Grabs shouldn't be instant, especially if they one shot you. I don't care what difficulty it is. I don't care what game it is. Getting one shot by a ground that occurs in 30 frames or less is absolute bullshit. It never feels good. You never feel like you got outplayed or even made a mistake. But in most cases, you're just trying to play how you usually do, which is punish, whiff punish, and position yourself well. And sometimes that doesn't matter, right? That's inconsistency. So that usually ends up being a little frustrating to deal with as a player. Obviously you can say skill issue in the thing, but it is just a design philosophy. So all I'm talking about are like facts about the games, especially 2 and 3. They both have this issue that, yeah, enemies randomly armor through you and they just do something that is completely like you can't do anything about it. Unless you stop, unless you had the foresight to just stop like a second earlier to just reposition, you will get punished for it. There's no tell that this thing's gonna. But anyways, I'm yapping. Let's go. Adversity was the most important keyword, yeah, I can tell, in the stage design, and the oppressively tall surrounding and seemingly bottomless abyss both contribute to this adversity. I hope that every time players see a new stage, they'll first shudder at the sight before them. So, this picture we've seen many, many, many times. Oh, why is it so small? It shouldn't be this small. Well, yeah, it's the first stage. It's the first stage. The Yakumo spawns in, you walk a little bit further, and this is what you see. This is what the game presents you when you start playing it initially as a like past the tutorials phase. But I don't know why this picture is so small. It's usually they're like 4K quality. But anyways, number 2, excitement and cruelty. This may go without saying, but chop off those arms and legs. Make heads roll, since the enemy slice the enemy in half. You put a lot of care in the gore, which contributes to the thrill of the battle. Blood spatter and dismemberment also make each attack feel exciting and satisfying. Yes, this is a mature rated title. That's never gonna stop any kid from playing it. But I appreciate you guys going out of your way for the rating. We designed the game so that enemies often come at you from all directions so that you can feel as many of these exciting moments as possible. And to keep things fresh, you can obliterate and decimate different enemies in numerous ways. Which is exactly what Ninja Gaiden is, which it's always been. But yeah, I don't know why these pictures are like this, but yes, this is the I don't know if they've shared the name of this. Yes, they have shared the name of this. We'll get to this. I forgot about it. But yes, this is the village of the Tengus. Number 3, maximum possible changes. And this part is very interesting to me and it leaves me a little bit confused. But I get their method. Let's get into it. In this game, we empathize, change, in every sense of the word to make the experience as exciting as possible. We asked ourselves what the fundamental joy of action game is. And after a lot of thought, we came up with the word change. I'm gonna put a pause on this. Very, very, very situational intent to consider when designing the game because a lot of players don't like change when it comes to their game. A lot of dedicated fans don't like change. They like additions, and even that is a very narrow bridge for them. The change or the additions have to align, right? There's a sense of purist mentality with it. Not in the bad sense. I get it. It's like some people play the game so much they think they know everything about it, so they can do it better than other people. I've been in that boat very shortly, but I have been in that boat as well. Funny enough, it was with Destiny too, not action games. I can definitely design Destiny 2 better than Bungie can. But aside from the point, the thing here is that you'll see it in any fandom that even a little bit of change is like they consider the bad thing. They consider the stepping away from it, right? So as a developer's job, it is an insurmountable task to be able to implement changes and additions that's going to keep the majority satisfied, because you will never be able to keep everybody satisfied. If you manage to pull that off, it is quite literally a miracle in the gaming industry or in media, like in entertainment industry, to keep everybody in line from like any generation. That is a miracle that almost like never happens, right? It maybe happen in a couple like musical cases and stuff, but yeah, it is really hard to keep everybody on board. Usually someone's gonna go like, well, I prefer it the other way. But yeah, let's get to the changes. They change in an enemy dying. They change in reversing a situation. They change in transitioning from a tough battle to a breakneck stage. They change in bloodying a clean enemy. They change in moving from a dark place to a bright place. They change in the screen, turning bright red from bloodshed. They change in a new protagonist. Enchanting in enacting, sorry, enchanting. Oh, the RPG came out of me. Enacting intense changes with one's own hands is the greatest pleasure for action games. This is what I mean. It is simple and contrasting experience that isn't found so much in other games. Will not name any game that I'm thinking about currently. Moving on. I could go on, but in the end, I believe that these three things are what make Ninja Gaiden so appealing. The three things in question being, you know, overcoming impossible adversity, excitement and cruelty, and creating maximum possible change. It was my job to design the what's and the order of the player experience to make each element shine as much as possible. The Ninja Gaiden series is made up of a high grade action games. So there are inevitably many different action elements, and there are many new elements and scenarios that we want the player to experience in this game. It was a huge challenge to make these numerous elements both stress free and memorable, while at the same time providing a speedy and impactful stage experience. There were so many things to consider that it was hard to get them all in balance, but every individual part is important. We spent day and night in trial and error selecting the most interesting paths out of the infinite options available to us. The key to this is critical thought, passion, and time. As a result, I think we found the ideal level design that lives up to the Ninja Gaiden name. The introduction is one of my favorites, the tutorial stage. I think we got across the concept of this game in the most straightforward and powerful way possible by originally combining all the visual, sound, and gameplay elements. Pick up the game and see the result for yourself. To me, these past few years of trial and error on the front lines of action games have been a real treasure. That's all. See you again sometimes. Yudai Abe-san joined Platinum Games in 2020 and worked on the stage design of Bayonetta 3, which is one of the best aspects of Bayonetta 3, the stage design. Um, I'd argue the mini games are a little extra, but different topic, different game, different franchise. As an environment artist on Ninja Gaiden 4, he served as the stage director and led lead environment artist, overseeing level design for all stages and supervising the design of the setting and visual quality. He strives daily to create immersive and vivid gaming experiences for players to through rich and expensive creativity. And I'll be the first to say it. You have done an excellent job because this game is fabulous to look at. So from the environment directors, from the concept directors, from like every single one of you have done an amazing job. This game is fantastic to watch, and I'm sure it feels even better to play. With that said, that concludes the Platinum blog by the stage design. So now we're gonna get into the exciting part. All of it is exciting for me, but I know this has footage in it. Now you guys, you guys enjoy looking at stuff move instead of just stale images. So this is the official website, teamninjastudio.com, ng4/ng4/us. If you're Japanese, just put JPN, I think. JP. Ninja Gaiden 4 comes out October 21st, 2025. Xbox Series X and S, Microsoft Team. I don't know why this is there. Xbox Game Pass, PlayStation 5, and Steam. So it comes pretty much on everything besides Nintendo. And I'm sure it'll come to Nintendo eventually, considering. But where Shadows Fall, Legends Rise, basic. I can't enter full screen on this, so I can't see this picture. But anyways, experience a return to the intense, high-octane action that establishes Ninja Gaiden as a premier action game series. This long-awaited fourth installment introduces an all-new protagonist in Yakumo, a young ninja prodigy whose fate is intertwined with the legendary Hayabusa himself. Prepare for a legacy reborn with exhilarating style and thrilling action for a new generation of players with adjustable difficulty setting and customizable experience. Ninja Gaiden 4 will push action game veterans to the limits while inviting newcomers to rise to the legendary ranks of Master Ninja. But they want newcomers to experience the same thrill we did when we were younger, right? I hope they make it. I hope they achieve that goal because games like this deserve to be acknowledged for how fucking amazing they are. All of these have information on them, but it's just pictures for the most part. So if you want these screenshots, you think they're cool, snatch a few. They're awesome. Yeah, I'll let you guys go through it because this is general information. The standard edition has the game, physical version, right? Physical version. Digital version comes in all of these, and this is the deluxe. Now, going through the deluxe again. Deluxe gives you the full game. Deluxe gives you reuse classic, traditional dark blue skin, and the legendary black falcon, which is the Ninja Gaiden 3 with the grip of murder. I wish there was a toggle on that. You get the Archfiend Blade skin, which I appreciate because that sword is destroyed canonically, so we can't really get it back. I hope Muramasa repairs it or something, but I think that might be impossible. You also get two Yakumo skins, the Divine Chimera and Raven Master. Divine Chimera being this one, and Raven Master being this one. And you get Yakumo weapon skin set, the Divine Blade, Divine Rod, Divine Rapier, and the Divine Chest. So, Divine Blades being his main weapon, right? The Divine Rod being the I forgot the name of the staff. We'll see it later. But it's the staff that turns into a hammer. The Divine Rapier is the rapier that turns into a drill. And the Divine Chest is the Assassin's Tools weapon. So you get the Chimera skin pretty much attached to it. You get the two Masters future gameplay content, which we know what it is a little bit. You get 5,000 bonus ninja coin, which immediately is going to go to on landing UT for me. Life Elixir, you get 5, which is a healing item. Divine Life Elixir, also healing items. Essence of Rebirth is a revive if you die. Crimson Blood Palace, no idea what that is. Senjin War Brew, no idea what that is. And Kongo Iron Brew, no idea what that is. But if I can take a gamble, Crimson Blood Palace might be for your key gauge, which allows you to use your Bloodbind and Gleam attacks. Senjin War Brew might be for your Berserk meter. What was that one called? Oh gosh, I forgot. We'll go through it. Kongo Iron Brew, no idea. This one I'm actually pretty blank on. If these might refill your like bars, but I don't know what Kongo. Maybe the damage buff. I don't know. Who knows? And this is a closer look at the divine, Dark Dragon Descendant. Too many skins. This is just pre-order. This is not part of the deluxe. You pre-order the game and you just get this skin automatically. And this is DLC Ninja Gaiden 4, the two masters, included as part of the deluxe edition and deluxe upgrade. So if you want to buy the game, the base game, and you don't want to worry about the deluxe package, you can buy the deluxe upgrade at a later date. And will be available in 2026. The two masters content detail will be revealed at a later date. So this DLC is coming out next year, most likely at the start of the year. That is 2 months after the game comes out, approximately. And yeah, if you've seen this picture go around big time, Ryu looks to be in his Falcon Talon stance slash Tonfa stance. But this is not a Falcon Talon weapon. He might use it like it. It looks like a Qatar weapon because of the blade at the sting blade. No weapons on his feet, and it looks, I don't know. It like initially I thought it was a ghost fish weapon for memes, but then I was like, it looks like the Gajus from 2. And then I was like, no, it doesn't, because they have like a dragon face here. So I have no idea what this could be. All I know is that it is a gauntlet type weapon. It could be, by all means, a new weapon for him. So we'll see we'll see next year, when 2026 begins. And Yakumo having a scythe. The scythe is most likely in his Blood Raven form. As to what the unupgraded version of this could be, a couple of guesses. One being Kusarigama, because Kusarigamas have the pommel is usually a short blade. Some are obviously. Ryu's is a explosive like flail at the end of his Kusarigama as a chain, so different deal. And they have a long blade for the main blade. My other guess would be maybe when this shrunken, it turns into a type of small glaive, or Bicento. I don't think Bicento is going to be it. Most likely a glaive or axe, which Axe, I don't think an axe would be too much different from a hammer. So again, maybe not. I think Kusarigama and Scythe would fit because they're traditional. Well, the Kusarigama is a traditional ninja weapon. The Scythe is a farming weapon, but still, Scythe in Ninja Gaiden is pretty iconic. Thanks to 2 and 3. So yeah, and it's called the Two Masters. This most likely is also co-op, unlocking co-op mode to some extent. I don't know what the missions will be. I don't know what we can tackle, but I'm assuming the ninja trials you unlock after the game. So that is all the information here. Again, if you want to visit the website yourself, is there. Now we're going to the next one. We're not done in this website. An ancient enemy returns, which is the Dark Dragon. An endless reign of miasma hangs over the near future Tokyo in the near future. In the wake of an ancient enemy's resurrection, the fate of the city lies in the hands of the young ninja prodigy Yakumo, fighting his way through cybernetic ninja soldiers and otherworldly creatures, which are the fiends and the demons. I actually wonder if Yakumo fights fiends. Yakumo must reconcile a destiny he shares with the legendary Ryu Hayabusa himself and free Tokyo from the ancient curse that brought the city to its knees. The city is sinking pretty much from all the constant raining. Like, drains cannot keep up with all this rain coming down. And these are awesome. Let's go through these one by one. Yakumo's render. So, Yakumo, a ninja of the Raven clan, rivals to the Hayabusa clan. So, rivals to the Hayabusa clan is a big honor because Hayabusa clans are insanely strong, and the Spider clans are also rivals, but they're kind of more like arch enemies at that point. So being rivals to one of the strongest clans in the ninja nation is a pretty high praise, and I kind of wish we heard about them a little bit beforehand. And a direct descendant of the Dark Dragon. Another important piece of information. It's like a direct descendant of the Dark Dragon. That's also a big deal. And he's a prodigy ninja, so he is Ryu tier by wording here. He is Ryu tier. He doesn't have, although we assume he doesn't have dragon blood in him, but being a dark dragon descent, then he probably has some type of special bloodline going through him. So by all means, Ryu is a prodigy. Ryu has dragon blood in him. Ryu's clan is extremely powerful when it comes to combat and just being technical, right? Yakumo is doing the check mark on all those same boxes. He's a prodigy. His clan is very advanced technology-wise. They're not traditional. The only difference here is Hayabusa clan is very traditional and old-fashioned. Raven clan seems to be very advanced and futuristic, especially considering what he's wearing and the tools he uses. Right? So it's old versus new. By all the definitions, old versus new. And I'm hoping the versus is a rhetorical type of thing, that it's not versus, they're just clashing for now, but they're going to team up later. As a fighter, he thrives in battle and possesses incredible talent for his age. He's very young, that's why he's so small and tiny compared to Ryu. While on a mission to assassinate a little bit of spoiler here before I continue. There's a little bit of chapter 1 spoiler here, so turn this mute for 10 seconds. I'll go through it fast. Starting now. While on a mission to assassinate the priestess of the Dark Dragon, Saori, he discovers the truth about the Dark Dragon and resolve to break the seal on his ancestor. So, that's that. That's Yakumo's thing. Moving on to Ryu. I'm hoping you guys are unmuted by now, so we'll continue this. And Ryu's doing his oral farming pose. The Nagatama on his dragon sword is also glowing, which is pretty cool. That means he's serious here. This is how we're at the bus stop. A ninja of the Hayabusa clan and a descendant of the Dark Dragon. Dark Dragon, I said. Descendant of the dragon lineage. So, the other end of the spectrum. Often called the Super Ninja. He's a modern legend amongst ninjas and stands against Yakumo's effort to break the seal on the Dark Dragon. So, yeah. He has dragon lineage, and Yakumo is a Dark Dragon descendant. So, yeah. Pretty short description, but you know who Ryu is. You don't need descriptions on him. You know exactly who Ryu is. But if you don't know, if you're new, he's badass. Saori, the priestess who sealed away the Dark Dragon. While imprisoned under the high security, she recognized Yakumo as a Raven Clan ninja and proposes an alliance. Her intentions, however, remain a mystery. Right? You have your traditional Team Ninja uh, ladies that are beautiful and they're extremely attractive and have very no, I'm not gonna say personalities. I'm saying they have very unique visual representation. So, you think Ayane, you think of the butterfly, you think of her purple hair, you think Memoji, shrine maiden, beautiful ponytail, and you think Rachel, badass blonde woman that carries a minigun around. It's like all of them have a very unique um personality. Neo Tengu and all that, they all the Team Ninja ladies are pretty iconic. That's the word I was looking for. Now, Kadachi. Correction on my pronunciation. I thought it was Kadachi before, but it's Kagachi. So Kagachi is as people call it, the Jetstream Sam of the game. And if this blade is red, the memes continue. Because if he draws this blade and it's a red blade, high frequency red blade, then yeah, especially if it's called Muramasa or something, or Masamune. Sorry, the Supreme Commander of the Divine Dragon Order. So he is the Supreme Commander of the Divine Dragon Order, a mysterious paramilitary organization. He commands a large number of troops and seems to have a connection to Ryu Hayabusa. We saw him talk on the phone together or on the comms together, so definitely are buddies or something. He might be training with Ryu. I don't imagine he'll do too good though. Tyrant. Really want to know more about this guy. His design is awesome. I love those shoes, those boots. That's a what are those moment right there. Tyrant, a martial art master of the Raven clan. He trains Yakumo in the techniques he has learned through years of study and combat. Tyrant is your vendor for Yakumo, just like how Murasama-san is Ryu's vendor. Misaki, one of the chief strategists of the Raven clan. He accompanies Saori in their mission to break the Dark Dragon's seal. Of course he does. Although a recent addition to the clan, he has quickly established himself as a highly competent and trustworthy member. I'm going to provide a piece of insight. Masaki is voiced by Aizen's voice actor. The name escapes me, but the Japanese voice actor for Aizen from the series Bleach, the main, most badass and intellectual anime character to have ever walked the entertainment study. You can argue that all you want, you'd just be wrong. People tend to say, "Oh, Kira," and I'm like, Kira could have killed everybody on the planet in his, yet he still got caught. So that's that for Death Note. Lelouch and all that. Everybody pales in comparison to someone that jeopardized a society that controls three realms. But getting a little sidetracked in my fandom. But yeah, he's voiced by Aizen. If you're voiced by him, the chances of you being a decent human being or creature very low. So keep your eye on this guy. I think there might be something more to this guy. And, being a new addition and immediately rising to the rank is a little suspicious. You might be a little overqualified. But he does look awesome. I'll give it that. His modern quote covering his traditional Japanese like style, gi. Why did I say gi? I forgot the term for this, but he's Japanese clothes with modern shoes, again, like dance shoes, dress shoes. It's kind of awesome. And we have Umi. Umi is a comm specialist of the Raven clan. She provides support for Yakumo during his missions. Umi is your item vendor. You go speak to Umi I think you can actually initiate the training mode too through her. But yeah, you buy healing items from her. And I think you might be able to set talismans or purchase talismans as well. But yeah, that's all the information on the characters we have so far. And unfortunately, we only know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters of the main cast, and we know a or a fiend that talks, but that's pretty much it. No information on the fiend yet. This is very cool because I know a lot of people are saying I don't like the environment. Well, there's a lot of them, so you might like some of them. Sky City, so Tokyo. The ones I think my brain is getting fried. I've seen a lot of grammatical mistakes like that one right there. Sky City, Tokyo, the once great city of Tokyo, ravaged by the miasma that continuously rains upon it following the Dark Dragon's failed resurrection. In this noxious hellscape, Bloodthirsty fiends materialize without warning, and the DDO stands as the people's only defense against the constant threat. So, the DDO team are good guys. They're supposed to protect people and the city itself while it's getting absolutely decimated by the Dark Dragon. Next biome, Uhaku Sanctum, a collection of shrines dedicated to the god of raging winds located on the outskirts of Tokyo. Surrounded by steep mountains, constant fierce gales make access to its valleys extremely difficult. It is also sacred to the local wind-worshipping Tengu, who are known to deal swift and deadly punishment to any caught trespassing, like Yakumo's doing right here. All bloody. Just notice that. The drill is all bloody. Alright. Round District. An area of the lower Tokyo, flooded by the Dark Dragon's reign. The water level continues to rise, and the district is strictly monitored by the DDO. Although access is now genuinely prohibited, its abandoned facilities are evidence of its sordid and prosperous past as a place of debauchery for the wealthy. So, your gambling, your red light district type of stuff, bow chicka wow wow, that's another biome. So, fourth biome, Dragon's Maw. And this one is going to be very iconic considering the most recent gameplay footage we saw of Yakumo absolutely decimating this place. But stay entertained. I don't know that word. The colloquial name for the DDO's military headquarters in the city of Tokyo. Check this out. Security is comprised of a wide range of state-of-the-art defense mechanisms for practical use. A veritable impregnable fortress. Any who dare break in do so at their own peril. That's why Yakumo literally cut the door in like pieces and killed everybody on his way to the end of the fortress. But yeah, pretty iconic. Pretty ironic wording used here. But yeah, this is their base. This is their main base. This is like main line of defense. All their tech is developed here. They have some of the most like high tech stuff deployed already, like the turrets that Yakumo one shots. But yeah, so cool. Last biome, yeah. So these are the main biomes, but these are not all the biomes. There is that spiritual realm we have. We now have not seen them talk about it. We have the 1, we have the 2, we have the 3, we have the 4, and there's 2 more. You have the caves and you have the spiritual thing. I think the spiritual realm thing is connected to the caves, and you have the demon realm shift too, which is when everything turns red. But yeah, and same information here. So now we go to system footage here, boys. We finally got to some footage. Pardon the volume. I am going to mute this. Actually, the volume is good. So these are new footage. Some of them. You saw that? You saw that shit? Like, it is ridiculous that he's mid-air not doing anything besides charging and releasing his move, and he has a deflect built into him. That is very powerful, but I think it's justifiable by the fact that you spend so much time. 1, 2, 3. You charge for 3 seconds, so you do deserve some type of punishment protection, because if you stand still for 3 seconds, if you stand still for 1 second in Gaiden, you're risking everything doing that. So the fact that it has a parry built into it to protect you for a little bit, I'm assuming projectiles still mess you up, or grabs or unbreakable attacks, yeah. But yeah, cool mechanic here, so you can actually get away with doing some charge attacks sometimes. It's not always hopeless, which results in it being a useless move to do in the first place, unless you're just 1v1 in. So cool. I'm glad that's there. I'm sure someone thought it. It's just obliteration technique, so nothing to talk about here. That's just an OT. Which I can read. Blood Raven form and Gleam form. Enter Yakumo's Blood Raven form or reuse Gleam state to unleash powerful attacks that consume gauge resources. Obliteration technique, for people that don't know. Press the heavy attack button, triangle or Y on Xbox, on a dismembered enemy to execute an obliteration technique, killing them instantly. You can only do this when enemies are in a finisher state or delimbed/dismembered. So leg off, arm off, that type of stuff. If their leg is off, they're on the floor, immediately kill them. Otherwise, you're going to regret it. Ultimate technique. Let's watch that again. Noticed something interesting here. So this is just a charge. This is not on landing charge. This is just holding triangle. Notice, take note how long it takes. 0 seconds. It takes 2 seconds to charge this thing. But the third level, almost less than a second. So, manual charge, never advised. Unless you have essence. Even then, it's still better to do on landing UT charge, which is a skill you can buy now. Pretty expensive skill, but there's a reason for it. So, level 1 takes a very long time to manually charge, but level 2 instantly goes into it almost. And there is a third level to this. That's called final charge. So, that says, if I could compare it, manually charging this is Ninja Gaiden 3 levels of slow. It takes a while. Or Ninja Gaiden 1. But level 2 to 3, or sorry, level 1 to 2, not even a second. I think it takes about around 45 frames to go into it. It is insanely fast. So blue starts at 1 second. Yeah, it's less than a second. It's much less than a second for you to go from 1 to 2. 0 to 1 takes forever. 1 to 2 takes almost no time. Level 3 remains to be seen. Ultimate technique. While in base form, hold heavy attack to charge your weapon. Then release after charging sufficiently to perform a powerful ultimate technique that gives you a brief invulnerability. Brief being a long time. As long as your animation is going, you're invulnerable. And the teleport distance is massive now. Thank you, Team Ninja and Platinum, for making that. Like, the amount of times Ryu whiffs UTs is the most frustrating thing in Ninja Gaiden 2, especially with the Dragon Blade. Like, enemies could be point blank and he wins. So you know how shield enemies are some of the most annoying enemies you can deal with? Not in this game. If you know how to resource manage. Oh. Getting out of that. Really? Yeah. Although I wouldn't mind watching a little Reina play. But yes. The stagger. Use Blood Raven form or Gleam state attacks to break an enemy's guard or stagger them during a powerful attack. So when enemies have 2 things they do here, this is probably going to be my final breakdown of all these mechanics because I've talked about them many, many times. So unless we see new mechanics, there probably is not going to be any breakdown anyways because I've covered everything. But so when enemies are guarding, you notice they're a little highlighted gray aura around them. That means they're in a state. This state can be shattered if you use Gleam or Blood Raven attacks. Like that. And you see the glow is gone from them. And his shield is destroyed. Kind of like the MC4. And this is their attack. So they glow red. You see this flash. And whenever any enemy does this flash, all you need to do, activate your Gleam / Blood Raven form and attack. And you shatter them. You see all the effects, right? So not only that destroyed his shield, he's staggered now, falls to the floor, so you can follow up with whatever you feel like it. There's more. Much more. Flying Swallow. Swiftly slides towards an enemy from midair. Iconic move. Everybody knows what this is. And Yakumo has a divine Flying Swallow, so because he can do it 3 times, so that's cool. Wind Path. Springboard of an enemy to jump into the air. Very classic and seems to have the same hit stop pause too, so. And this is the spiritual area I was talking about. This biome was not mentioned in biome overviews, so yeah. Have all this stuff around. I wonder if these are destructible. But yeah. New biome. And of course the red light district thing I was talking about was in this in some of these clips too. I think it was in the OT one? Yeah, this one. Memory's impeccable. 2 more clips. Izuna drop, people's favorite move. Really wish his voice was on. The head blows off. It's a very satisfying move. Get used to doing the string a lot. It does come with risks. Fatal Flash. So, before I move on to this, actually, Izuna drop. Grab an enemy, launch into the air, and smash into the ground with great force. Also, deals damage to nearby enemies on impact. So, we have the best of both worlds here. Your Izuna drop is fast. You have the cancel out of it. You can cancel out of your Izuna drop as soon as it ends. And you have the great property of Ninja Gaiden 1. I almost said DMC. Ninja Gaiden 1, where your Izuna drop does blast damage. A lot of blast damage. So, yeah, I do wonder if it does. No, it just also deals damage. So it's not just staggered. It does damage to people near you in the vicinity. So, yeah, that's awesome. Fatal Flash is a new mechanic, which is going to be my favorite mechanic so far. Successfully anticipate an enemy's attack to trigger a parry and follow up with a swift counter. There's 4 things here I need to talk about, so I will slow this down. And I will mute it because that's going to be... Check it. You know what? Okay. Let's slow this down because, again, this is very important. This mechanic is going to be the most important thing about learning the combat of this. Fatal Flash triggers when you block when enemy is attacking. You see this cross. When that cross is like fading out, there's a timing to it. So you block. Imagine a QTE pops up. You block, QTE's popped up. Press the button again. Boom. Do a Fatal Flash. This was not an upgraded version of it. This was a base version of a Fatal Flash. And then you delimb the enemy most of the time. And it spawns the essence. And you have Fatal Flash. See the flash? See that it flashes again. Note, cue the flash. Normal effect, and then gleam. Right? In this case, he did his Blood Raven and attacked. I really want. Effect pops up, effect blinks. That's when you press the button, and you do a follow-up. So, this follow-up in particular, if you activate your Blood Raven or Gleam mode, from what I've noticed so far, this move, this follow-up, is completely invulnerable. You cannot be interrupted or hit during this. So, parrying is not an ass mechanic in this game, like the other games. If you parry, well, the other games is counter, this is a parry. Parry, which is Fatal Flash in this game, gives you a small window where you can do your follow-up without worrying about getting absolutely decimated out of it. So you initiate an invincible mode for a solid second. So during this animation, you're completely invincible. I don't know when the invincibility runs out. I would assume as soon as the hit goes through and you gain control of the character, so you have to dash out of it to cancel it. But yes, that is Fatal Flash. This mechanic is very important. So keep that in mind. And other actions. Yeah, you thought we were done? No, we're not. This is the downtown district. Sweet spot for this. There we go. Berserk. Oink. So, Berserk State. Enter Berserk State in the heat of life or death combat. In Berserk State, performing certain actions in Blood Raven form will trigger Bloodbath Kill, annihilate enemies instantly. So if you spend both your resources, you gain so much power that you can insta-kill a lot of enemies. And it also has a finisher state. So, True Dragon Sword in Berserk State. You can say whatever you want. Ryu trained with Virgil. Also, cue that Ryu's Bloodbath Kill is... It might even be called something different. But Ryu's Bloodbath Kills are black and white with different kanjis. Yakumo's are completely red. The screen turns red. see. True Dragon Sword. Awaken the True Dragon Sword in the heat of life or death battle. A combat. When the Dragon Gauge is full, which is your Berserk meter, awaken the True Dragon Sword and connect Fear's follow-up attacks to unleash the true obliteration techniques. So, I think the thing here is that Berserk State is what Yakumo's ultimate thing is called, and the oh god, what was it called? Dragon Gauge. So Dragon Gauge is what the reuse is called. Yeah, I could be wrong about that. I'm just making an assumption here. Bloodbath Slaughter. That's the finisher for the Berserk Gauge, which is just a super move. It's a very strong super move. It completely drains your bar, and it just annihilates anything around. Bloodbath Slaughter. Activate Bloodbath Slaughter while in Berserk State to instantly execute all enemies within range of attack. This doesn't insta kill, as far as I've noticed. There has been one clip where enemies survived this. Just one clip. It could be because the finisher part of it missed on that enemy. That's highly possible. But I don't know how much power the state has. But if they're saying it insta kills, I'm just a believer. True Dragon's Gleam. Notice how when Ryu is in this mode, the Magatama of, or the Dragon Eye, whatever you want to call it, but the crystal is lit up on the True Dragon Sword. So when you are in the True Dragon state, Ryu is at full power. This is his full power. And that's his super move. True Dragon's Gleam. Activate True Dragon's Gleam while the True Dragon Sword is awakened to instantly execute all enemies within range of attack. So, one of Ryu's most impressive looking moves is called the Gleaming Blade, which is the one where he sends you in the air. It's a 360 UT into, sends you into the air and just completely decimates you from every direction, right? This is True Dragon's Gleam. This is the most powerful state, the most powerful attack Ryu probably has in his arsenal. So, the fact that it insta-kills everything. Impo! We finally see WindBlades. Was this here yesterday? Super fast, dog. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay, I completely must have skimmed over this, but fuck me into every hole. That WindBlade is insanely fast. And it just decimates, man. I really want to know the radius on this thing. Because WindBlades consumes, supposedly, all your Gleam meter, most likely. Because Inferno consumes about 75% of it. Piercing Void consumes 50% of it. I'm assuming Phoenix consumes like 25% of it. So I would, by mathematically, I'll go to, this being all of it. Considering it's an AoE like annihilation technique. But one of the other reasons why I think that's the case is because the Platinum developers said that Ninja Gaiden 2 was their favorite out of all of them. And I understand that sentiment, of course. I still think the gameplay of 3 is better. That's why the 4 plays like 3. So, they take the aspects of 2. In 2, the absolute Nimpo is WindBlades. It's the best Nimpo. It's like hands down. 90% of the game you can use WindBlades is the best Nimpo. Sometimes you can use Inferno to actually have better results. So the fact that it's the strongest Nimpo in Ninja Gaiden 4 makes sense. So the only Nimpo we haven't seen is the Phoenix. First Blades, Taka, Mina, Kata. Unleash quick consecutive strikes with Twin Blades in base form or powerful long-range attacks with the Tachi in Bloodbath form. This is Yakumo's main weapon. I'm gonna spread some hate here. I absolutely adore that the fucking dogs are getting destroyed in this clip. You have no idea how much everybody in almost every fandom and community hates dogs, especially in Ninja Gaiden. So the fact that Yakumo puts his blade in their fucking mouth and cuts off their top half is exactly the right brutality I wanted to see. They're spirit dogs. They're not real dogs. I love dogs. I love all animals. But dogs in video games can absolutely go fuck themselves. Twilight Piercer. Yotusen. Yotusen, I think is the correct pronunciation. Thrust towards enemies with the rapier in base form, or drill into your enemies with the lance in Blood Raven. What do they call the lance? I call the drill. Poor bastard. So, to give you a little bit of a comparison's sake, it kind of works like Cavalier from DMC5. I think you just hold the button instead of letting the button go and with a timing. So, yeah, cool stuff. And the name of this is Twilight Piercer Yotusen. And I think this is the first time we actually see the name for the staff. Tremor Staff. Maga Tsushi. I'm ass. Maga Tsuhi. Smack enemies in your parameter with the staff, or crush them with a powerful area of effect attacks with the hammer in Blood Raven. I wonder if the Blood Raven forms have a name. Bonk. Pretty cool. I wish there was a little bit more, but yes. For the first time, let me try this again, because I fucked it up twice this day too. Maga Tsuhi. Tremor Staff. Dark Arsenal, Kage Hiroku. I could say that fucking perfect. This is his Swiss knife, pretty much. Swiss armor knife. Look at the gameplay, man. Perfectly blocked that shit twice. So yeah, this weapon has like 8 weapons built in it. So, Tonfa. Might as well just slow it down. So it doesn't get aggravating to look at. Tonfa. The arms, claw, flails, the blades. Armor through that hit. Got smacked. Tonfas again. Block. I think the fatal flash happens with the claw. Blades again. Dodge out of that attack. That. Pretty generous iframes. Fatal flash with the claws. Boom. You see the red effect? Now they're delimbed. Even the big guy, I think, got delimbed. But he got staggered. And then shuriken and smoke bomb. And we got Dragon Sword. Oh, the audio is still muted. Let's do that again then. That is hands down my favorite OT he has with the Dragon Sword. The grounded one, at least. That leg D-limb one, this is so cool. It kicks him up and double slashes him on the way up. It's so sick. That's so cool. I forgot to read this. Execute long range and close range attacks utilizing various assassin's tools in base form, or use mechanical arms in Blood Raven form to further expand your arsenal of carnage. The Dragon Sword, for anybody that doesn't know, execute a flurry of rapid techniques that have been passed down through the Hayabusa clan and perform lightspeed consecutive strikes in Gleam form. Video is getting really long. Let's see the runtime. Oh yeah, it's almost an hour, so let's wrap this up a little bit. Difficulty setting. Cool picture. Okay, difficulty setting. Create your combat experience with adjustable difficulty settings, whether it be on hero mode, which enables useful assist, or Master Ninja difficulty, where top ninjas earn their stripe. A rich experience of weight players of all skill levels. I hope Master Ninja has a reward, like a skin or a weapon skin or something that kind of you can flex while providing videos. Chapter select. After completing the story, play through all the chapters as either Yakumo or Ryu via chapter select. You can actually play every section of the game with any character you feel like it. And you most likely keep all your upgrades. Trials. New. Completing the story will unlock trials, where you can further test your skill against bosses, as well as in other battles with various special conditions. And we got a couple more. These are just the trailers, so that's by all means this was the end of it. Master Ninja gameplay. This is all the trailers. So if you want to look at all the trailers, this is the very first time they revealed the game during the Xbox Developer Direct. This is the first trailer of the game, the announcement. This is the second trailer of the game, which was the one at the Xbox Game Showcase. This is the third trailer, which is the Gamescom trailer. This is the Yakumo Advanced Gameplay of Chapter 11. This difficult design. This is the one that immediately it happened 2 days ago at Tokyo Game Show, and this is also a full clip of Master Ninja mode from this other clip. So that's all the stuff there, and the news is everything I just said. It's just going through all the stuff that got added into the website, and products is just telling the different editions you can get. All the information is listed here, so that's the website. Getting rid of that. All right, I'm going to go through whatever Mr. Joe said here because I want to see if there's anything I've missed, which is highly possible. So this is my gameplay. So a few callouts at 0:21. So let's go on 0:20. Oh, audio is good. He's pointing out, note the 2 D-limb enemies crawling towards me as I position for an OL OT. On landing is OL, UT is ultimate techniques. They will S-grab you if you get close. S-grab. I don't know if that's a typo or not. But yeah, if you get close to these guys, they will grab you and self-destruct. It is the worst thing that can happen to you in Ninja Gaiden. If you let any D-limb enemies grab you, you are so messed up. You get destroyed. So yeah, he closes distance and UTs them. Get rid of them. Because getting close to them to try to OT them is a little bit risky. This is probably the safest thing to do. At 32nd, the enemy leaped towards me as I do a BR projectile, which is Blood Raven projectile. Had just enough time to get away at 30 seconds, which is right here. He charged the BR. You see the exclamation mark popping up and the directional threat indicator. Like, hey, someone's coming. And he was like, yep, canceling that shit. Not worth it. Gets out, repositions. Going to add 52. And I'll play the video till we get to 52. Enemies blocking the air. He didn't that up, but yes, enemies being in the air. And Ninja Gaiden usually being in the air is very powerful and very, like, you can most likely kill any enemy if you launch him into the air. In this game, however, if you do not utilize your tools and resources, that task is not a sure thing anymore. So you have to also hit confirm in the air as well as the ground now, which makes it a little more challenging even compared to Ninja Gaiden 3's hit confirming difficulty. We're almost getting close. OT. Okay, let's see what Mr. Joe said. The weapon switching during OT animation. So if you are doing actions, you are not, you're still capable to change weapons. You switch weapons right there. You see the icon pop up on him. And at 1:03, Blood Raven jump with staff, hammer, mid-air weapon switching, the assassin's tools, shower the floor with bombards. It's a Blood Raven attack for the X. But this is a thing I brought up during the Yakumo gameplay of Chapter 11. I was like, the jump attack in the air with the assassin's tools is quite broken because you launch anything that's under you. Unless there's some enemies that don't get launched by it and just get staggered, that move is going to be extremely overpowered. So that's the jump. This is and I really did say I want to see what this does. But the staff's Blood Raven jump attack is bonk. You do this. He switches to the assassin's tool and he does Blood Raven jump again. He throws the bombs and look, everything got launched. Even these high tier enemies still got launched. And you can catch them on your way down to do combos and Izuno drops and such. Alright, let's go to the next thing he brings up. At 1:15. Gigantic ult on landing ult lol. That's the first time we see that OT. I love how he hesitates a little bit before finishing them off. You know he's a young, cocky kid because he does shit like that. That's a level 2. Because this is Death Wish, he doesn't have level 3, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure this is Death Wish at least because he doesn't seem to have any of those upgrades. Berserk Gauge, I'm sure he has something to say about this, so let's switch. Like exactly at the correct timestamp. At 1:31 Berserk State, the follow-up BR attack, Blood Raven, to activate Bloodbath Kill is not free. You can see I got clipped by an attack which takes off around 25% of my health. Mid-air, he armored through it because he is in a powered up state and wasting his resources. Well, using his resources, not waste, sorry. He still got clips. He was in the air. He's getting clipped by an enemy. Right? Being in the air is not OP, guys. So, next clip being at 45. Positioning myself while staying offensive to make sure I don't have any back to enemies. You don't want to have enemies on your back. Never want to have anybody on your back because you will get hit off screen. See? Perfect repositioning. And he's using his essence. His essence currency management is pretty good so far. 219. An real brawl. Trying to open up the enemy. I am trying to open him up with Blood Raven form while positioning myself so I don't have an enemy attack my back. Again, he's worried about his hide. This is the last enemy in this wave. You OT him. Done. Alright, now new enemy wave spawns, so you gotta make sure you're in a corner pretty much so nothing spawns behind you. There is essence on the floor. Charge up. Get it going. And enemies can absolutely dodge you while you are charging up your OT. See, he tried to dodge, but thankfully the tracking in this game is amazing, so which is good. Whiffing attacks is never satisfying, so wink. Cool OT, UT. Again, see, case in point, this is what he's talking about. When the UT finished, there was one high tier enemy behind him. That's a massive radius. So he was like, yeah, let's have all three of them on screen so I can keep track of what they're doing. It's much easier to see what your enemy's doing than relying on the indicators. Next thing happens at 219. Yeah, that's the one. 223 afterwards. Yep, break that shit, launch him. He's blocking, break it this time. And this is the one concern I have for this game. And this is arguably the first time I've come across something that I do not like seeing in this game. This is my first gripe. My only gripe with this game so far, besides the fact that I can't play it currently, is that projectiles are fucking shredding his health. And they're not doing chip damage anymore. They're doing permanent damage because it's in the air. On the ground, you take chip damage apparently, but if you're in the air, you take true damage. So he's losing all his chip health and full health. I do not think that having projectiles, rapid hitting projectiles that chunk 5% of your health, assuming this is not his full health, so if it's not his full health, he's taking 10% health damage, more than that, I think 15% health damage every time he gets shot at. That is a fully automatic weapon that's hitting him multiple times. He's not getting any iframes because of his getting staggered or anything. No, he's just getting chipped. So I have a very bad concerning factor over the guns are going to be the most annoying piece of shit things to deal with in this game. But all that being said, it kind of falls on you as a player to eliminate anyone with a long range weapon first, which is something you should always be doing in Ninja Gaiden regardless. But again, not very fond of range enemies rapidly chipping my health like this from any distance. It feels a little unfair, but the movement in this game is very fast, so again, falls on you. If there is 6 different guys shooting you on every corner of the game, then that's bullshit, because you can only kill one person at a time so fast, right? So honestly, my first and only legitimate concern and criticism of the game so far. I haven't played it, so I don't know how to deal with it, but all the methods I've mentioned might be a factor. I know I would eat the gunfire if I went into the VR to break him open on mid-air, but I took the risk. It was worth it. If you look earlier, the same thing happened here. He launched them. Was it this one or was it beforehand? I think it was beforehand. But he launches an enemy. Yeah. And he doesn't break it this time because they are throwing shurikens at him. He doesn't break it. He just throws shuriken tosses to reset the situation, right? This time, he takes the risk and uses Blood Raven to break. And then he gets punished for it. It's not free to stay in the air. So even though despite this is something that players do, like, you decide, yeah, fuck it, I'll just go through with it, and you do go through with it, and this is the result of it. That's why you play it safe all the time. You never get greedy. I got the D-Limb on the second BR hit, so the third hit was unnecessary, and I could have saved some health if I Shuriken canceled and OT'd him when we hit the ground. But he did one extra swing. This is why you want to always hit confirm in this game and not just mash. Ninja Gaiden is one of the last games you can say it's button masher. Honestly, most hack and slashes you can't say they're button mashers. Like, sure, you're pressing one button, but that one button press timing means life and death. Okay, let's hold up. I'm getting lost in that. Yep, at 3 minutes, the enemy comes at me off screen before I escape with an OT on the wall. Splattered the enemy. 320 Berserk State, the enemy shuriken would have killed me if I ate them, but the BR attack deflected the shurikens. So, this happens at 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Let's see this. I'm actually curious about this. That's something I probably didn't notice, or I probably didn't talk about last time I covered this. Yeah, he positions himself. He sees the OTI frames actually saved him there too. Splat, get the OT, or the UT. Now get the OT for that. Gunfire, he almost died there. He almost died there, even though he was moving super fast. The armor he got from Blood Raven actually saved him there. What's that? And keep in mind, this is someone that's been playing the game actively, like left and right. And it's still this challenging to clear an encounter in Master Ninja on Ninja Gaiden 4. Gonna drop that, activate Berserk. Finish it off with the stylish. Because next up is a vendor, right? So, good. I don't assume the boss fight went any smoother just because he doesn't have any health. But that's the end of it. We'll also note that I'm playing with the base health, no health upgrades, and no accessories. Also, refrain from using any items. This was a point of my pride for me. So, yeah, like, obviously, as we said, like, this is pretty much Death Wish mode. He has no upgrades. I don't know if Death Wish takes away your techniques too. It looks like it does. So, yeah, this is like new game Master Ninja, which I think there might be an achievement for that. Beat Master Ninja on Death Wish mode. I really hope there isn't, but I feel like it is a thing you should do. Which I will do. I'll tackle it. Cool stuff. But yeah, that's everything. That's everything we've known so far from TGS. It's a plenty of new info, and I'm like, this is gonna be like an hour and 20-minute video. All right? So I'll end it short. The game is 24 days away. Believe it or not, I think it's less than that. I think we are hitting 23 days. I know it is 24 days. So we are coming really close. I know Hot Topic is demo. I know. There is still one more chance we might get a demo before release, I should say. 2 weeks before release. 2 weeks before release is the next and only chance we have to get a demo. If we don't get it, that's fine, because the game is around the corner. And if you watch my videos or you just watch videos in general, you'll know everything you can expect from the game, besides how it might feel. I'll just let this play out again. So, with that said, if we don't get a demo in 2 weeks, then the game comes out in, literally 24 days. So, again, keep an open mind if you're watching reviews. I would still suggest watching people that enjoy playing video games for life, and not people that just talk about video games. So that's my thing. Of course, do whatever you feel is correct. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just suggesting a method to stay spoiler free and not get influenced by negative opinions, especially if they're falsely advertised. With that said, I'm gonna go eat some grapes and refresh my breath. I've been yapping for an hour for you guys. If there's any more new information coming up, which I think we might have a couple more blogs from Platinum. So, anything pops up, I'll cover it. And until then, I hope you guys enjoyed all the coverage so far. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, stay safe,